Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Eva, and this is my second time filming this video today because technology hates me, but we're gonna power through because this is a very important video. It is my Sephora recommendations for the 2025 Fall/Winter Sephora Savings Event sale. I won't waste time going into the details because you probably know what the deals are and what the dates are. The way I divided up today's video is by category, so there are timestamps down below, so if you're only interested in recommendations for a certain category, click on through. Also wanted to note that everything I am going to be discussing today will be available in links through my ShopMy guide. If I have enough room, in the description I will have every single item listed, but I think I have over 50 items that I'm going to be talking about, and there is a character limit in the YouTube description area. Let's go ahead and just get into the first category. Let's start off with skincare. My first skincare recommendation is one from Rhode. I do think the skincare products from Rhode are a little bit overhyped. I do enjoy them, but the only one that I'm like, oh my gosh, I am obsessed with, I will always repurchase, is the Glazing Milk. I love that it comes in a travel size. For me, that's just always a bonus because I travel so much for work when I'm able to easily take stuff on the go. So the Glazing Milk is super hydrating. It's a milky toner. I like to apply it as my first step after I wash my face. And then if it's been a little bit of time between when I've done my skincare routine and then I'm going to go do my makeup, which sometimes happens, I will go ahead and reapply it as a step before my makeup. It's a very flexible formula in that you can also add it to your foundation if you want to thin it down, or maybe if you're extra dry and you need a little bit of moisturizer. It is 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Alpine Beauty makes a really lovely moisturizer. That is their Super Peptide and Ghost Berry moisturizer. I really love this one, especially for the winter or when my skin is extra dry. It's very hydrating. It's a great moisturizer. I don't really have much more to say about it other than it's fragrance free. It's great for sensitive skin. It hydrates beautifully. One thing is I do wish that it came in a pump because I don't love products that come in the jars. But other than that, it is a flawless moisturizer in my opinion. Another moisturizer that I've been loving, one that is newer, is from the brand Mara, and this is the Sea Dream Algae Cream Moisturizer for firming and tightening with sea moss and peptides. And this is just another really great moisturizer for sensitive skin. It's fragrance free. The packaging is very luxurious. Again, I wish it had a pump, but alas, it does come in a beautiful glass jar. It just looks beautiful, kind of sitting out on your vanity. This is a moisturizer that does absorb quickly into the skin, and I say that as a positive because I don't have to ever wait a long period of time between applying this moisturizer and then applying my SPF before going in with my complexion product. And again, the packaging is very luxurious. I recommend you checking it out. Paula's Choice makes some of my favorite skincare products, staples that I will always repurchase, and they always have really great sets for the holidays. Two that I wanted to call out. The first one is the Plump and Glow 3-Step Kit, and in this you get the 2% BHA, and then you also get one of my favorite moisturizers from Paula's Choice, or actually my favorite moisturizer from Paula's Choice, and this is the Pro Collagen Peptide Moisturizer. And in this set you also get their Pro Collagen Peptide Balm. I love that moisturizer so much. It makes your skin feel so soft afterwards. I've already used up, I want to say maybe 2 bottles. I'm due for a restock because it is one of my favorites. The other Paula's Choice set that I wanted to recommend is the Mini Must-Have set. In this, you get the 2% BHA, and then you also get their Fluid SPF. I love this SPF. It's very liquidy, so keep that in mind. But because of that, it just glides onto the skin. It feels very weightless, and it is an SPF 50. In this, you do also get a cleanser. I have to admit, I have not tried the cleanser, but the other 2 products are ones that I love. In Beauty is a brand that you hear me mention a lot on this channel, and they make one of my favorite eye creams, if not my favorite eye cream available at Sephora. And this is the Extreme Cream Eye Cream version. They also make an Extreme Cream moisturizer, which I also really love. but the eye cream is just amazing. It's super nourishing. It wears beautifully under makeup, and it's just amazing. And they do have it obviously individually, and then they do have a little set, which is nice because you get a miniature of the Extreme Cream moisturizer and then a smaller version of the eye cream. So that's something I recommend if you're like on the fence or you really prefer to try smaller sizes before committing to the full size. That is one I will recommend. The last moisturizer I'm going to touch on is from the brand Dew, and this is the Instant Angel Lipid and Peptide Rich Moisturizer Barrier Repair Cream. I love this product and I love the packaging. I love that it comes in like a toothpaste tube because it means there is limited exposure to the air. I'm not putting my grimy fingers in a jar to get the product out. It's a wonderful, beautiful moisturizer. I have completely used up my tube and I will be purchasing some restocks during the sale because they have a really great kit where you get the full size and the travel size, and it also comes with this cute little like Dew metal component thingy where you can put it on the end of the tube to help you push out all the product to ensure you are not wasting any of it. The last skincare product, which is technically hand care, is from the brand Soft Services. They make a really, really cool refillable hand cream that comes in like a really pretty, like kind of structural shape. I have the yellow one, but they came out with a new blue one that is in collaboration with Dead Cool, which is one of my favorite fragrance houses sold at Sephora. And this is a limited edition scent of the hand cream, and you also get a little miniature Dead Cool perfume. I ended up purchasing the refill version of this limited edition scent, which I do appreciate that they did that because as much as I want the blue hand cream container, I already have one. So it's nice that they made it so you could purchase that separately. Let's talk hair. The first hair set I want to talk about is from Crown Affair. Crown Affair makes an amazing waffle hair towel. I know that might sound silly to invest in, but I do really notice a difference in the health in my hair based on the quality of the hair towel I'm using to dry it. I used to use those like, cheapy ones you could get at Target. No offense to Target. And I don't know, I just felt like it was like kind of tugging at my hair. It just didn't feel nice. But then I discovered the waffle hair towel from Crown Affair, and I love this thing. They recently came out with a new color, which is the gray one, and it comes in a really great set where you're also getting their leave-in conditioner, which I love, and you're also getting their newer product, another one that I love, which is their air dry cream. I believe that is the title. And this product is one where you put it in when your hair is still wet. You kind of scrunch it and it makes like the most beautiful natural wave if you have any sort of natural wave. Normally my hair is pretty stick straight except for like a weird wave in the back of my head. But when I used this product a couple weeks ago for the first time, I did the scrunching and it actually made my hair kind of curly and it actually stayed. Roz is a brand that is newer to Sephora and one that I have really fallen in love with. Particularly, I've fallen in love with their leave-in conditioner, which is the Milk Hydrating Leave-In Conditioner. This is what it sounds like. It's a leave-in conditioner. It doesn't weigh down your hair. It makes your hair super soft. It also has a really lovely scent. A staple in my hair care routine and one that I have purchased probably over the past 15 years, I want to say. If not 15, then definitely the past 10. And this is the Bumble and Bumble Invisible Hairdresser Oil Spray. And this is their heat protectant. And I love this. It doesn't make my hair greasy. I love the way it smells. I love the way it makes my hair feel. And I just can't live without it. If you purchase one of my recommendations from the Sephora sale, it has to be this next one. This is the K18 Air Wash Dry Shampoo. I am a dry shampoo connoisseur. I used to be obsessed with the Living Proof Advanced Dry Shampoo until this came along, and I have not used a dry shampoo since. The K18 one is wild. It's wild in the fact that it is wet, and it's a wet product that you spray, and then it dries and it absorbs all of your oil. Like, there is no dry shampoo that can be compared to this product. I swear by it. It will change your life. Like, it really will change your life and your hair care routine. It will reduce the number of washes you have to do per week, which If you are someone like me who colors your hair, you don't want it to fade, so having a really good dry shampoo in your routine is important. And this one is very expensive. I want to say it's maybe $48, if not $50. It is worth every single penny. I will always repurchase it. It is that good. I have two hair tools I want to talk about. The first is from the brand Mane, which is from Jen, I'm forgetting her last name, but the founder of Way. She has another brand called Mane, which is available at Sephora. I think it's targeted towards a younger demographic, but I purchased the It's Giving Body Medium Hot Thermal Round Brush, and it is amazing. It is a product that you want to use when your hair is dry, or at least that's how I use it. It heats up very quickly, and it essentially is a roller brush, as if you were at the salon and your stylist is using the roller brush and then blowing the blow dryer just so it heats. That's what this product is. It doesn't blow hot air out to the point where it's like going everywhere. I'm not doing a good job describing it, but this tool is amazing. It heats up so quickly. It's so easy to use. I love to use it for just like flipping out the ends of my hair, or if I ever want to do like, I don't know, like a little wave in the front. It's amazing, and I love that it's just simple. It's like one tool. It doesn't have a bunch of attachments. It's just good at what it does. Speaking of attachments, a product that has a bunch of attachments is the Shark Air Styler. I think it's the Shark Flex Air Styler. I purchased this during the Sephora sale last winter, and it has replaced the Dyson for me. I've been meaning to sell my Dyson because I never use it anymore, because I prefer the Shark Flex Styler. The reason why I prefer it is, one, I love that it is a hairdryer as well. I think maybe one of the newer Dysons is a hairdryer with the attachments. I could be wrong, but I love that it is a hairdryer, and then I really love the attachments more. I find that especially the like air wrap wand, they hold longer for me than the Dyson ones do. I don't know if maybe the suction power is a little bit stronger, but I love this product, and it is definitely a splurge, but it's one that I think is really worth it if you are someone who does style your hair, because again, there are all those different attachments that you can use. I use the blow dryer the most, to be honest, and then I also use the curling wands, and then the one that is more of the like round brush. For me, I love being able to travel and not have to add in a high quality hair dryer into my luggage. I just have my Flex Shark thingy and the attachments. This is so much talking. I have a tea next to me I'm drinking. This is gonna be a long one. Let's talk SPF/complexion. I'm saying slash because the SPFs that I'm recommending, I consider them almost skin tint. So the first one is from In Beauty, and this is the Mineral Sun Glow SPF. This is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. It does come in fair medium, and then fair light, and then medium dark. I think there's just two shades now. I obviously use fair light, and this is a beautiful glowy SPF that is going to provide the most beautiful filter on your skin. Oftentimes I'll wear this and then throw on a little bit of concealer, and I don't need any additional complexion products when I do that. I love that it's glowy without being overly glowy. The Supergoop Glow Screen I know is too glowy and like tinny for a lot of people. For me, it even is if I'm not wearing a foundation over the top, but this one can be worn alone. It's not overly glowy. Also provides a great amount of coverage for like a very light coverage, but just the right amount. Another SPF product I love is from Saie, and this is the Saie Slip Tint. This is, in my opinion, like pretty high coverage for being a skin tint. When they originally launched, I feel like they didn't come out with more than one shade. If I recall correctly, it was just like one shade. They have a ton of different shades now. It wears beautifully. I need to restock mine. I'm remembering mine expired, so I need to order a new one during the sale. And it's a very nice satin finish on the skin. It's not overly dewy, and it's a product where it's a skin tint, but I think it's kind of more of a light coverage foundation as opposed to being a skin tint, because it does have that much coverage. Supergoop came out with their Protect Tint, which is another tinted SPF. This is another one that does have very decent amount of coverage. If I recall correctly, it's not as much coverage as the Say Slip Tint, but it definitely provides some coverage. I really like the shades in this line, at least for me personally. There is a really great neutral shade that I like to wear. I find a lot of skin tints or just complexion products in general don't have like true neutral shades for very fair skin, and I find that the Supergoop lineup does. Merit also launched a tinted SPF this past year called the Uniform. I did review it on my channel. Something that I really like about this product is it's extremely buildable. Something that's important to keep in mind when you are thinking about these tinted SPF products is figuring out, like, are you able to provide the true recommended amount of sunscreen to your face without it looking too cakey or without it looking too goopy on the skin. The way the Merit one is formulated, and all of the ones I've talked about so far are formulated like this, where you can apply the full, 2-finger recommended length of sunscreen on your face, or rather of the skin tint on your face, without it caking up or looking goopy. I will say the Merit one, people may struggle with finding their perfect shade. The shades I think are like a little bit funky, so if you're interested, definitely go in store if you can to get shade matched, because yeah, the undertones are a little bit off, but because it is a more buildable and like sheerer skin tint, the shades can be more flexible. It's interesting because it's like sheer, but it still has a decent amount of coverage. I don't know, there's just something really unique about that product. The only non-SPF complexion product I'm going to talk about is from Danessa Myricks. It is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint. This is my favorite complexion product of all time. I use it almost every day. I need to do a big foundation declutter from my foundation drawer because most of them are expired, but also I'm pretty much use just the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin. Like, it really takes a lot for me to not use that product. I'll try other ones that I have. Maybe I decide I want a little bit more coverage, and then I'm always disappointed. So the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin is one I'm just obsessed with. The shade range is also really great. They've released even more shades this past year, so if they didn't have your shade previously, go check now because they've continued to expand the shade range. I have a couple of concealers I'm going to talk about, and these are just the ones that I've really been gravitating towards this past year. The first is an oldie but a goodie, the NARS Creamy Concealer. I love this product. It's one that really creases quite minimally on me, which says a lot. There's no such thing as a creaseless concealer, but this one comes pretty darn close. Also, there are so many shades of this, and I love that it comes in a little miniature size. Another concealer that I've fallen in love with this past year is from Kosas, and this is their Revealer Super Creamy Concealer. For a while, I wasn't able to use this product because they just didn't have my shade. Kosas is a brand I love, but I do find that their like foundation complexion shades are like, at least were kind of limited, and I'm a true neutral tone. And it took them a while, but now they have more shades of the concealer, and there's one that works great for me. And this, very similar to the NARS one, provides really nice coverage. It's creamy, but it also dries down so that you're not getting tons of crease, but you're also not getting like cakiness under the eyes. I have a couple powders I'm going to recommend. The first one is from Kosas, and this is an oldie but a goodie, and this is the Cloud Set powder. It is a beautiful baked powder. It is really detectionless on the skin. Am I using that word properly? You can't detect it on the skin. It doesn't cake up. It doesn't dry out the skin. It's a beautiful product. Another powder that I discovered this year, but it's been around for a while, is from Lawless, and this is the Skin Smoothing Talc Free Powder. I like this powder for days when I'm wearing like maybe a skin tint that doesn't have a ton of coverage, or maybe it's a day when I want more coverage than I usually go for. And that's because this is a tinted powder. So I like that this is one where I can kind of add another layer of coverage to my face. I use the shade Fair, and then they also came out with a pink shade that I use on my under eyes. I stopped using setting sprays, I want to say like 5 years ago, ever since I realized that spraying a product that has alcohol on dry skin is only going to make it more dry. But then Kosas came out with a really beautiful finishing setting spray, and this is their Cloud Set Airy Setting and Smoothing Mist. I love this just for kind of like sealing in the makeup after I apply it. It helps my products kind of melt together, especially on days where I'm mixing a lot of creams and powders. I just love the effect it gives my skin. Now, does it make my makeup last longer? I don't really know about that, but I do think my makeup looks better on days when I wear it. If you are not new to my channel, you may have watched my highlighter video that I did, I think it was in the spring. I will have it linked up here, where I reviewed and ranked all of the highlighters, because apparently 2025 was the re-emergence of the highlighter. And I have to recommend the one that just beat all the other highlighters, and that is from Prada. This highlighter is just incredible. It melts into the skin. It is undetectable on the skin, but also provides a beautiful glow. I don't know if it's the squalene that's in the formula or what sort of magic is in this product, but it is absolutely phenomenal, and it's also $90. So if there's a time to get it, it is now during the Sephora sale. Let's talk bronzers. There were a lot of new bronzers released this past year, and I liked a lot of them, but I had to narrow down my picks, and my number one powder bronzer pick was not difficult for me to narrow down because it is my favorite powder bronzer of all time now, and it is from Farrah Hamidi, and this is the Essential Bronzer. I wear the shade Bois, which is the lightest shade. Unfortunately, I accidentally threw mine across the room. It wasn't in a fit of rage, it just like flew out of my hand and it completely shattered. But lucky for me, they finally have the product restocked on Sephora, at least at the time that I'm filming this video. It is restocked and they sell the refills. Thank goodness. So I was able to purchase the refill of the product. Something to note about the refill is it is a refill that kindly and generously comes with a little plastic lid on top. So you can definitely use the product without purchasing the more expensive version with the compact. Now, the compact is beautiful. It's very heavy and weighty. It's very luxurious, but it's also an additional $30. So I did want to mention you can totally get away with just purchasing the refill, and you will have a lid that you can put on top of it. I forgot to mention why I love this bronzer. I have a whole video on it, but I love this bronzer because it is just such a beautiful neutral tone. If you are a pale, neutral leaning person, you will love the shade Bois. Another powder bronzer that came out this past year that I really love is from Givenchy, and this is the Givenchy Prism Libre Bronzing Powder. It is one of those kind of, gimmicky ones. I call them gimmicky because you like swirl them together to get the right shade. It's not a product where you're gonna just dip in individually, but it's beautiful. On me, it's wonderful because it is a true neutral bronzer, and it was not overly fragranced also. Like, it wasn't one where I put it on my face and I smelled the fragrance after, like I do with a lot of Dior products. Don't get me started. This one was really great. It's fun too. I don't know, I like mixing it. Yeah, it's one I recommend. I love a cream bronzer, especially a stick bronzer. One of my favorites is from the brand LYS, which I think doesn't get enough love here on YouTube. They're such an amazing, affordable brand, and they make a fantastic bronzer stick. And they have a nice little set for the holidays where you get a miniature of the bronzing stick and then a miniature of their cream highlighter. Make sure that your preferred bronzer shade comes in this set. They have 3 different versions. If not, purchase the full size. It applies like butter. It melts into the skin. There's a really great shade range, and I want to say it's like around $20, and that's before the 20% off. Another stick bronzer that I love is from Too Faced. This is the Chocolate Soleil Cream Bronzer. It smells like chocolate, but I actually love that. And they came out with a super, super light shade this past spring. I like the lightest shade and then also the next one down. Both of them work for me, but similar to the LYS one, it really melts into the skin. It's a beautiful product. My last cream bronzer, because there are so many, but I have to stop somewhere, is from Rare Beauty. It is the Rare Beauty Bronzing Stick. I forget the exact name, but you know what I'm talking about. The undertones and the variety in this lineup is great. They have ones that are more contours, other ones that are more bronzers. I love when a brand comes out with a bronzing stick range where you can really pick and choose if you want it to be a contour or if you prefer a shade that's going to make it more of a bronzer. I need a sip of my tea before we move into this next category. I am already out of breath. The next category is blush. If you are not new to this channel, you know blush is my favorite makeup category / potentially favorite invention of all time. I just love a blush. I love a blush. I love all different formulas of blush, and I have a bunch to recommend to you. The first one is from Rare Beauty, and this is their Soft Pinch Matte Bouncy Blush that released, let's see, maybe it was February of this past year, and I love this blush. It is a cream to powder formulation. I really like the shades, although I do wish they would come out with some more maybe subtle ones, but it's a product that blends beautifully. And they have a really great set this year where you get a full size of the bouncy blush, and then you also get 2 minis of the Rare Beauty liquid blushes, which is another formula that I love. That formula is one that is so pigmented though, you only need the miniature size and it will still last you a lifetime. My favorite, I'm pausing, I'm pretty sure I need to go through my Rolodex of all the powder blushes that were released this past year because I tried all of them. Pretty sure my favorite is the YSL Make Me Blush Bold Blurring Blush. I mean, the packaging on this is just so luxurious and beautiful. The formula is incredible. It is so blurring. It's so blendable. It's so user-friendly. And the shade range, they've come out with some really, really great shades in this line. And I'm so pleased that they keep releasing more and more shades because I will keep buying them because they are that good. I did want to mention that YSL always does 30 to 40% off their makeup website on Black Friday. So you can hold off if you would like to save an additional 10 or 20%. I don't know if the blushes will be included, but usually it includes pretty much everything if my recollection suits me. There are a couple of sets / palettes that are available in this formula at Sephora though, that I don't know if those will be included in the future YSL sale, but they have a great set that comes with a full size of the blush and then a full size of their lipsticks. I mean, the oil, what are they called? The Love Shine oil lipsticks are a classic. They smell so good. They're so beautiful. And that's a great set. And then they came out with the most gorgeous palette. At this point in time, it is sold out, but they are always restocking during the Sephora sale. So make sure you have your alerts set up. I have a couple items that are sold out and I set up my text alerts. So the second they're back in stock, I can order them. But the YSL palette is really, really amazing. The formula is true to the individual ones and they're all limited edition shades. You get blushes and then you also get highlighters. I have this palette and I love it and I'm so glad I picked it up. I love the Patrick Ta blush duos. You cannot go wrong with these. They are a cream and then a powder compact. Patrick Ta actually recommends applying the powder first and then the cream on top, which is an interesting technique, but it works. And this year for the holidays, they released 2 different sets where you get a limited edition blush and a limited edition lip gloss in 2 different iterations. I do want to note though that I saw someone post on Reddit, thank you Reddit, swatches, and they are nearly identical to existing shades in the lineup. So if you already own a lot of shades of Patrick Ta. I would be a little bit cautious because you may end up purchasing a shade that is nearly identical to one in your collection. But if you do not have a lot of the Patrick Ta blush duos, I think this is a great set to check out. I also do really like his lip gloss formula, which also comes in this set. I am so happy that Rhode is now sold at Sephora because that means one of my favorite cream blushes is now sold at Sephora. Yes, the pocket blushes from Rhode that look like little corn dogs are available and you can get them for 20% off. This formula is great. I've raved about these blushes on my channel before. I think Piggy and Sleepy Girl are probably two of my favorites, but I also love Toasted. They're just so beautiful and I love the stupid packaging. I don't know why, I just love it. The formula is very blendable. They're long lasting. The shades are great. I just freaking love those blushes. A liquid blush formula that is super user friendly. And this is the Say Do blush. They have a great little trio set for the holiday season where you get 3 of their shades. Again, it's a very user-friendly liquid blush. I love Rare Beauty, but their liquid blushes, you have to be so careful when you're applying them. But with Say, they're more blendable. They're a little bit sheerer. They're buildable. You can't really end up looking like a clown no matter how hard you try. And this little trio set is super cute. Tower 28 launched a blurring blush this past year. There were a lot of blurring blushes and I loved this formula. They came out with some limited edition shades with another creator named Tony Bravo, and her shade is in this really cute set where you get one of her blush shades and then you also get one of their clear glosses. I love the Tower 28 gloss formula and I really love this blush formula. Some people, when they initially swatched it, they were like, ooh, it looks chalky. But the way something swatches just by like swatching it on your wrist is not representative of how it's going to apply to your cheeks with a brush. And these are so beautiful. They're very blurring. They're very blendable, and don't let this bright red scare you. I have this bright red and it is wearable. You have to be a little bit careful, but it's certainly wearable for someone who is fair-skinned, and then the creator herself who developed it has a deeper skin tone, so it's a beautiful product that works on all different skin tones. I have more blushes. The next one is the Glow Recipe blushes, and these are the Watermelon Glow Dewy Flush blushes. I raved about these, I want to say in the spring when I picked them up during the spring sale because I was influenced. I was so skeptical and I love these. They came out with 2 new shades for the holidays. They have a red one, which I ordered, and then a pink one that I'm also tempted by. And it's a really pretty, like, watery blush. It kind of feels like when you're applying it, it's like almost like you're applying watercolor to your cheek. It has pigment, but it's not overly pigmented. I also really like the packaging, which is just a bonus, but it's a really nice formula. And I love that they came out with 2 new shades. So I recommend checking those out. One of my favorite liquid blush formulas is from Huda Beauty, and this is the Huda Beauty Soft Glow Liquid Blush. I've talked about these before on my channel, but they have a very cute little duo where you get 2 miniature of the blushes. I feel like liquid blushes, I mean, I'm yet to use one up before it completely goes bad because liquid blushes, you know, they do have a more limited shelf life. I definitely push mine way past the limit. So I like when liquid blushes especially come in these mini formats because you're never really going to use the full thing. And this gives you a way to try 2 different shades. We have more blushes. We are not done yet. The next launch is a blush launch that really surprised me this year. I was not expecting to be blown away by this blush launch, but I was, and it is from NARS. NARS relaunched the multiple blush sticks. Now, keep in mind, they do market them as being for cheeks and lips. If you put them on your lips, they look like chalk. So that aspect is false advertising, but I don't care because they are so beautiful on the face. The shade range is amazing. They have really interesting, like super pale shades and then really deep shades. And the formula is super blendable and blurring and matte, and I just love them. They came out with this very cute little trio where you get 3 miniatures of this product. So it's a great way for you to be able to try 3 different shades of an amazing formula. Glossier released a new blush this year, and it is their Cloud Paint Plush Blush. Say that 5 times fast. I can't even say it 1 time slow. And this is their version of a cream to powder blush. There have been so many cream to powder blush launches this past year, and this one is really beautiful. One thing to note, this isn't a negative, but something to note is that it is more of a powder than a cream. So whereas the Rare Beauty bouncy blushes are going to be creamier, these are more on the powder side. I really like the shades that they came out with. I have a couple shades. I want to say it's like Beam. I have like a coral shade and then more of like a dusty rose shade. And I really like them, and I love the packaging. I love the packaging on these. It's like a beautiful matte packaging where the outside matches the inside, but the formula is great. Another blush launch from this past year that really blew me away, and I feel like did not get enough love, was the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Lip and Cheek Glow Blush Stick. There were so many blush stick launches. There were the Dior ones, which they're overrated. They're overhyped. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. But they don't deserve a spot on this list. But the Charlotte Tilbury ones, they just blew me away. I have a video where I swatched all of them because I couldn't help myself, and every single shade was so beautiful and blendable, and it looked like your cheeks were wearing a filter. I do wish, and my prediction was wrong, I predicted when I reviewed that product that for the holidays, Charlotte Tilbury would come out with a limited edition Pillow Talk shade for the holidays of that blush, and they didn't. But those are a really beautiful formula. They're very long lasting, and they have a really unique lilac shade that I recommend. Also, their bright red one is really beautiful. You really can't go wrong with any of those Charlotte Tilbury shades. The last blush formula we're going to talk about is from Westman Atelier. I've talked about these so many times on my channel, and these are the Baby Cheeks Lip and Cheek Cream Blush Sticks. I'm recommending this really cute set that comes with 3 of these. They're in the little miniature size, and you get 1 limited edition shade and 2 permanent shades. I'm being ridiculous because I ordered this even though I have the 2 permanent shades, but the limited edition jam shade, I need that in my life. I love a berry blush. Oh, I love it. So I'm super excited for that to arrive. And I think that's a really great one for you to purchase so you can test out multiple shades for a more reasonable price point. I have one brow product to talk about, and it is the only brow product that I've used for like the past 8 months, and it is from Kosas, and it is the Kosas Air Brow, like I would call it more of like a tinted mousse. And I've religiously used the Boy Brow for years, and then also the Sephora collection version of Boy Brow, but I needed a brow product that had a better shade range for my hair color now that I am like cowboy copper / gingery, and the medium chocolate brown shade is perfect because it provides just a little bit more warmth that helps kind of tie my brows in with my hair. But the formula is the standout. The shade range is a bonus, but the formula is amazing. It's very tinted, and it provides a lot of volume that lasts all day. I applied my makeup by now, I want to say 7 hours ago, and my brows still look pretty great, and that's even after I got wet in the rain. So this product is a definite top shelf must-have for me, and if you're in the market for a new brow product, you should really check this one out. For mascaras, I only have a couple to recommend, and that's because like I just can't stop using my Makeup Revolution Wrap Lash tubing mascara. Like I can't stop using it, but if I'm not using it and I have to pick mascaras from Sephora, there are 2 I really like. One of them is the Tower 28 mascara. This is just the most like non-offensive mascara ever. Like, it works great on everyone. It looks very natural. It comes in a brown now, which is awesome. And they have this really great set for the holidays that I will include on the screen here, where you get 2 of the mascaras. So that one is a really great mascara. And then another one that I've fallen in love with is from Charlotte Tilbury. And this is, let me get the exact name. And this is the Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerize Volumizing and Curling Mascara. This mascara is phenomenal at lengthening and curling without clumping. Find that a lot of like lengthening mascaras, it's very easy to go overboard and get scary spider lashes, but this one, you don't have to be overly careful, and it really just opens up your eyes and your lashes and makes them super long and luscious. Now we are getting into eyes and eyeshadow recommendations. I honestly don't have a primer that I'm like dying to recommend to you, because I like the Urban Decay Primer Potion, but those are always on sale during Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, so I don't pick those up during the Sephora sale. My favorite eyeshadow primer is from MAC, which will be available apparently at Sephora this next year. Yes, MAC is entering Sephora, which is very interesting. So hopefully during this sale next year, I will be able to recommend the MAC primer. So I don't have any primers to recommend, but I have a ton of eyeshadows and eyeshadow palettes. For eyeshadow palettes, I mean, there are so many. But the one I always recommend during this sale, because it's still my favorite eyeshadow palette of all time, is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes. They have the classic one, and then they have the cool tone one. This formula is just incredible, especially if you're a beginner. These shadows blend so beautifully. It is a phenomenal formula, and this palette can just make you look like you are a professional makeup artist. The other palette I want to recommend, because it is just so good, or rather they're so good, are the quads from YSL. These eyeshadow quads are so beautiful. They're super pigmented. They have really fun color stories. They're beautiful. They're user-friendly. These are other ones that maybe you want to wait until the YSL sale, but if you're like, no, I'm doing all my makeup shopping now, these are so beautiful. I've tried all of the color stories, which is insane to admit, and all of them are beautiful. So just go with your color preference. The quality is the same throughout the line. The Patrick Ta Major Dimensions eyeshadow duos put the internet in a frenzy when they were released because of the price point. People were outraged, but to be honest, maybe I'm just jaded. 4 multi-dimensional eyeshadow palettes from like indie brands or any sort of like multi-chrome shadow, they can be like 30 bucks an eyeshadow. So 2 eyeshadows for whatever it was, like the $40, didn't really outrage me. That probably says more about me though, and just how jaded I am by makeup prices. But nonetheless, doesn't matter the price, these are incredible. I love this formula. It is so glowy. It is so beautiful. Looks like scattered lights on your lids. And they came out with even more color stories. So there are so many options to choose from. If you don't believe me, go in store and swatch these. You will be blown away. This is like probably one of my top recommendations from this video. And I feel like these don't get enough love, but they're so, so gorgeous. I am losing my voice. That's how much I am talking. How do news anchors do this? I don't know how they do it. I have a couple of cream shadows I want to recommend. The first is from Violet FR, and this is the You Paint Liquid Eyeshadow. These are incredible. These are so long lasting and one of the few liquid shadows that does not crease on my eyelid. I love these in the matte formula. I love these in the shimmer formula. They're beautiful. They have so many different shades, and they're also a very flexible formula as well, where if you want to, you can use them as an eyeliner as well, or rather a liquid liner. So they're flexible. They're also extremely blendable. Some liquid eyeshadows I find are like very scary to blend because they're super patchy if you don't blend them quick enough or you don't blend them with the right brush. These are so user-friendly. And I also love it. They have like neutral, kind of boring shades. They also have like a fun lavender shade. They have something for everyone. Another liquid shadow I love, and one that's on the newer side, launched this past year, is from Makeup by Mario. And these are the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes Long Wearing Cream Eyeshadow. These are also very user-friendly. I would say they're not as, they're thinner than the Violette FR ones. I would say the Violette FR ones are a little bit like moussier almost. I don't know if that's quite the right adjective, but the Violette FR ones are ones where, as I mentioned, you can use them as an eyeliner, a liquid liner if you want. These ones aren't that. So I think it more comes down to A, which shade range you like better, but then also kind of the utility. If you want to be able to use them as a liner, you'll want to go with Violette FR. Oh, another key difference, the Violette FR ones also come in a shimmer formula. Danessa Myricks Color Fix Sticks are incredible. You cannot go wrong with any of these duos. They are so beautiful. They're so unique. They don't crease. They have such fun color stories. I love that you're getting 2 shades in one product. They're also cool to the touch when you apply them, which is super interesting. So you like apply them and they have more of like a cooling sensation. I like that on one end, it's more of like a shimmer, and then the other end is more of a metallic. So if you want to do an all over metallic look and top with the shimmer, you can, or you can wear them individually or together. They're just such a fun makeup launch, and they have so many different shades. If you are someone who is scared of glitter, I would say this is a great product for you to pick up because it's not going to give you fallout, and it's also just so easy to apply because it's in that stick formula. Now we're in lips. Lips honestly might end up being longer than the blush category. There are so many lip products to recommend. Let's start off with balms. Summer Fridays. I think the Summer Fridays balms are 100% worth the hype. This year they came out with a cute little set where you get 2 limited edition kind of holiday themed lip balms, and then you get a miniature of their face mask. I love this set because I love those 2 shades. Recommend if you have always been interested in the Summer Fridays balms, this is a great set for you to take the plunge with because you're getting 2 of those balm shades. I've talked a lot about the Edam Choo Choo lip balms on my channel, and they have an amazing set for the holidays. You get 5 shades of their lip balms at a really great value. I love this formula. They're pigmented, they're comfortable, they smell great, they have a lot of really great shades. A product that I love that doesn't really get talked about much at all on YouTube is from Refy, and these are the Refy Beauty Lip Glosses. These are so pigmented and they come in such beautiful shades. They launched this cute little set for the holidays where you get 3 shades. I believe 2 are permanent and 1 is limited edition. They're a great formula. Again, it's very pigmented. They're very flattering. They're not sticky. They're super comfortable lip glosses. Rare Beauty launched a lip gloss in the spring, and when it initially came out, I was like a little bit scared because it looked super glittery. Even in the swatches, or rather when I went to Sephora and swatched it, I was a little scared, and then I tried it on my lips, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous, glowy gloss formula. The shade range is also really pretty. I actually prefer some of like the deeper shades in the lineup. I find that they're super flattering and they're very comfortable. You're not going to notice the glitter on your lips because they're just going to be glowing and they're beautiful, and I recommend that gloss. Oh my gosh, we have so many lip products. The next is the Dior lip gloss. These glosses are amazing, and there is a limited edition shade that I highly recommend. This is Mahogany. I picked this shade up a couple months ago, and it's so pigmented, so beautiful. It's perfect for fall and winter. It's a product that you don't need to wear a lipstick on underneath because the gloss alone is more than enough pigmentation, but I own so many of these Dior glosses and you really can't go wrong with any of the shades. A lip stain that I recommend is from the brand Kulfi, and they have a cute little set with 2 of their Lassie lip stains. This is a really pretty formula and one that starts out as an oil on your lips, and then as the oil wears off throughout the day, you're left with a really beautiful lip stain. So I love that you get the effect of an oil initially, and then once the oil wears away, you're still left with some color on your lips. A lip oil that I'm obsessed with and I feel like doesn't get enough love, or maybe it does and I'm just not seeing it on my algorithm, is from Jisoo, and this is their honey infused hydrating lip oil. They released 3 new shades for the fall/winter season and they're all nudes. They smell amazing and they are so, so beautiful. My gripe with the Jisoo lip oils from the previous launch, even though I still love them, but like there isn't much difference in the shades when you put them on your lips. But I will say with the new shades, I have all 3 and I notice a difference with each shade, which is definitely what you want when you're purchasing a lip product. The Violet FR Plume Moisturizing Feather Lip Matte Lip Whip. It's a very long title. It's on the screen. These are beautiful. I'm actually wearing one right now. The shade I'm wearing is the shade, oh my gosh, Chatigine Grille. I mean, I took so many years of French and I can barely say anything. It is this shade here. And this formula is a very comfortable mousse liquid lip formula that doesn't dry out your lips. It's not hydrating. I mean, it's a matte lip product, but it's not one that's super uncomfortable. And it's one that also wears off nicely over time. Sometimes with liquid lips, you have to be really careful because like it'll randomly start wearing off in like a random patch and then your lips look patchy. These do not do that. They wear off really nicely. The shade range is really beautiful. They're mostly like deeper berry tones, but then this one here is that nice kind of like nudie pink. I have 2 products from Clarins. Clarins like doesn't get a lot of hype, I think because they've been around for forever, but the Clarins Lip Perfector is magical. I feel like maybe, who was it on YouTube? Was it maybe like Estee Lauder Essie Button who originally introduced me to them? I'm not quite sure, but it was someone many, many years ago on YouTube. And it is such a beautiful formula that really does perfect your lips. It's one where I'm like yet to find a US dupe. I did find a dupe in the UK, but it's from a brand that's not available here. But the Lip Perfector is very comfortable. It's very beautiful. It's very flattering. It's just like a really nice, highly pigmented gloss is what it is. Another Clarins product that I love is their lip oil. Like I love the Clarins lip oil. It's very nourishing. It's very hydrating. The shades are really beautiful. They smell really nice. Whereas I think the like Dior ones are overhyped. I still like them, but I think they're overhyped. I think the Clarins ones are underhyped. They have a really beautiful black cherry shade. They have a lot of really pretty like berry colors, and they have a really wide shade range. So I recommend those from Clarins during the Sephora sale. We're not done with lips yet. Another lip product is from the brand Mara. That's the brand that has the moisturizer that I mentioned. They also make a really beautiful lip treatment, lip balm. It is, let me pull it up. I'll actually put it on now. This is the Algae Morning Sea Silk Lip Balm. This one is older, so they now have a little bit of a different packaging, but this is a really comfortable, beautiful lip treatment. This is the clear one, but they also have really pretty shades as well. There's also a really pretty pink one that I like. It's very comfortable. It is more of a lip treatment as opposed to a lip balm, but it's super comfortable and it's one that you can still like, you know, wear out and about throughout the day. It's not like a lip sleeping mask that feels weird when you're out and about trying to talk to someone and there's like goopy products on your lip. It's more of like a thick balm slash treatment. In Beauty makes an amazing lip gloss slash oil slash balm. I would say it's more of like a hybrid between a gloss and a lip oil, and they have an awesome vault set. They come out with these every year where you get all of the different scents, colors, flavors of their lip oil. The set's a great value, and this is also great if you want a product that you can break apart and give to multiple people. You can just pull lip oil from it, give it with some other items, and it's a good shareable gift. The last lip recommendation is from Merit, and this is the Archival Lip Set. You get 3 matching shades of 3 different lip products, and I love all of these formulas. You get their lipstick formula, you get their sheer lip liner, and then a matching lip oil. This set is so beautiful. I do have a reel on my Instagram swatching this and putting it on. It's so beautiful. Highly recommend picking it up because it's also, for now, limited edition. We're getting towards the end. We're talking about face palettes now, or holiday palettes. The first one I recommend is one that like some people are hating on, but I really like it. It is the new Charlotte Tilbury palette for holiday. I really like this palette. I think the blushes, especially in this palette, are so beautiful. Also has the classic Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, which I really like. The eyeshadows are fine. Like, they're not like amazing, but I don't really see what the hate is about. I really like this palette. I'm going to be traveling next week for work, and it is the palette I'm going to be bringing because I love that it has eyeshadows and it has what I need for my face. It even has a setting powder. Like, all I really need to bring is this, a mascara, and my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin, and that's all I really need for makeup. So I highly recommend this. I do want to recommend the Hourglass palettes. I know you might be rolling your eyes. I told myself I wasn't going to get them this year because they've increased in price, blah, blah, blah. But I did have a 20% off coupon from Ulta, and I did pick up the Swan palette, and I have been loving it. Keep in mind the Swan palette has multiple new shades. You got to make sure before you purchase any of these that make sure that these shades will work for you, but also go back to your collection because sometimes they release iterations where there's like only one new blush shade. And it's like, okay, well, why am I paying for all these new highlighters when I really only care about the blushes? Like, you got to take your personal preferences into account, but I am very glad I picked up the Swan palette because I love the blush shades in that palette, and those are shades that are new and unique to the palette. It's a very beautiful, like, purpley one. Yeah, I'm very glad I picked it up. A random recommendation I'm going to recommend is from Sephora Collection, and it is the Sephora Collection brushes. These are phenomenal quality. They're not like the cutest brushes. They're just like black handle brushes, but the quality is amazing. The shapes are amazing, and they have a phenomenal set, and Sephora Collection is 30% off. So don't forget, it's 30% off, and they have a wonderful set. They come out with an iteration of this every year where you get every brush you can ever need. Retails for, I believe it's $99. So with the 30% off, it's around $70 for tons of high quality brushes. So if you are in the market for new brushes, I would highly recommend checking that out. They would also make a really good gift. I feel like makeup brushes aren't something that people always want to invest in, but it makes such a big difference for the quality of someone's makeup application. So if you have someone in your life who's maybe just like getting into makeup or who really enjoys makeup but doesn't have good brushes, this is a fantastic holiday present. We are at the last category. We made it. We are at fragrance. I have a few fragrances I want to recommend. The first one I'm recommending, and sorry, I'm looking down at my phone. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. This is the Sephora Favorites Holiday Perfume Sampler Set. I buy these every year because they are a phenomenal value. So you get all of these little samples for $95, and then you get a voucher that you can redeem for a full size of any of those fragrances. So it's $95 plus the 20% off for many fragrances that retail for $130 or more. For me, it's a no-brainer. Like, make sure, of course, that there is a fragrance included in that redemption voucher that you're actually interested in before you purchase it. But for me, I really want the Net Pear or Nete, I don't know how you say it, pear perfume. It also comes with the option to redeem for a replica perfume. You also have Henry Rose, you have Jo Malone. There are tons of amazing options in this set. Ignore the bad reviews for this because it's always ding-dongs who haven't actually purchased the product or read the description who are like, 1 star, why is this $95 for, 10 tiny samples? Because they don't realize there's a redemption voucher in there. Another perfume I want to recommend is from the brand 5 Cents. Oh, they make such amazing perfumes. One that I love, I actually have right here, is called Catch Feelings, and this is Ruby Grapefruit Damask Rose. I also love the fragrance Into Deep. All of their fragrances are super complex smelling and super unique, and they do not smell like anything else I have ever smelled. So highly recommend anything from 5 Cents, but especially Catch Feelings or Into Deep. Another perfume that I've fallen in love with over the past few months is the new Fleur Cherry Stem perfume. I do think Fleur perfumes can be very hit or miss for me personally, but Cherry Stem I absolutely love because it's like a gourmand cherry. It's very rich smelling without smelling like a, I don't know, like a cheap cherry body spray. It's more of an elevated cherry. It has like a cherry syrup smell. It lasts a really long time. And it's also like a cherry scent that I think is very year round. It's not overly like summery or springy. It's not overly wintry. It's just a very flexible year round fragrance. I do have the travel size and I'm very tempted to pick up the full size during this sale. The last recommendation I have for you, and then I will free you from this prison, is from Dead Cool, and it is their Mochi fragrance. Oh, I love this fragrance. It is a sweet fragrance that isn't like sickening sweet. It's gourmand. It's beautiful. I will put the notes on the screen because I cannot describe fragrances to save my life, but I love Mochi Milk. It is a phenomenal perfume, and I've actually recommended it to a couple other people who have purchased it and were like, oh, this is a really good perfume recommendation. That is it for this video. Thank you so much if you stuck with me all the way. I would love if you consider supporting my channel by shopping through my affiliate links down below. It does mean a lot to me. I will also have my generic Sephora affiliate link down below as well. Also would love if you subscribe and follow me over on Instagram. Both of those things really help out small creators like myself.